Good morning, everyone. Happy Tuesday, and thank you so much for joining us for our inaugural 2016 HR Florida Conference and Expo Speaker Orientation. This is our first year doing these webinars, and hopefully you'll find this very informative, and glad that you tuned in today. We are also recording the webinar, so if you want to take a second listen later on, review any of the information, or for those that weren't able to join us at 8 o'clock Eastern Time. We'll certainly have that available for you later. Before we dive into everything, first off, I'm Heather Dario. I'm honored to serve as your conference director for 2016. I'll be introducing Linda Willey in just a moment, and she'll be your speaker today. We just wanted to say thank you for submitting for our call for proposals and for agreeing to speak at our conference. Being a thought leader and sharing your knowledge and expertise is the reason why people attend this conference, for the education and the continuing education credit. So without you, this would not be possible. A couple of housekeeping notes. Right now, everyone is muted just so that we cut down on the background noise. However, we do have 3 different ways for you to participate. On your screen, you should have your GoToWebinar control panel. Within your panel or your dashboard, there's 3 areas, so you can either raise your virtual hand and we'll know that you have a question, so we can unmute your line so that you can ask during the presentation or at the end. We also have the question section about halfway down on that dashboard. You can submit your question that goes directly to Linda and I so that we can answer those for you. And lastly, at the very bottom of the dashboard is the chat section, which the entire group can see. Most likely, if you have a question, other people on the call will have the same question, so feel free to use that as well. So it is my honor to introduce Linda Willey. In addition to her wonderful career in HR and fabulous personal life, she also serves as a volunteer as our programs chair for the conference and our certification for the council. So she has been instrumental in this process, and I'm sure you've all had some wonderful opportunities to work with her as you've submitted your information and have probably spoken at the conference before or emailed in the meantime. And with that, we'll go ahead and turn things over to Linda.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us so early in the morning. I hope everybody's had their coffee. Like Heather said, we're just going to go through and just give you an orientation on what to expect from the conference as a speaker, where to go, what to do, things like that, just to make your experience more enjoyable with us. So getting started, when you come in to check in, we want you to check in at the Dixie Room, which is down the escalator. So if you're coming from the parking garage and you turn into the first entrance there is into the hotel, you're just going to go straight and you're going to see the elevators right past the business floor. If you're down the elevators, you're going to jog a little bit to the left, and we are going to be in the Dixie Room, which is going to be on your left. The nice thing about the rooms downstairs, they are all in alphabetical order. So you will see the Dade room, and then you'll see the Dixie Room. And that is y'all's room for the month of the conference for you. Check in with us. We'll be in there along with some volunteers. We ask that you check in at least 1 hour prior to your session. You can check in earlier. That would make me feel better so I don't start getting panic mode thinking that I have a lost speaker somewhere. The registration for the pre-cons, for the speakers that are doing our pre-con sessions on Sunday, that the attendance will start opening up, coming in at 7:15 in the morning. And so we will do the registration for the attendees outside the room that you've been assigned to. So for our pre-con speakers, you'll still check in Sunday morning with me in the Dixie Room, and I'll show you where to go. And then we'll get started for the pre-cons. And then the breakouts, please come down. If you arrive at the hotel on Sunday, feel free to come in and check in advance, even if you're speaking on Tuesday. Anything to make it easier for us. The speaker room is available to all the speakers during the following times that you see on your screen. So I will be in there on Sunday from 7:30 to 5:30, Monday 8 o'clock to 5:30, Tuesday 6:30 to 5:30, and then Wednesday 6:30 to 11 o'clock. the great thing about the speaker room is if you're coming in just say for Monday, and you stayed overnight on Sunday, you can leave your luggage in the speaker rooms. You can leave any materials in the speaker room. The speaker room is always secure. We always have somebody in the room. It's never left unattended. And then when we leave for the day, it is locked up. So it's definitely a place to drop off your luggage and so forth while you go through your session or you're attending other sessions. That's where you can leave your stuff. Also, it has Wi-Fi. We have beverages in there all day long, water, Coke, sodas, coffee, and your lunch on the day that you're speaking, your lunch will be down in that room. And you come pick it up, and we have tables where you can sit down and you can check your email, do work, eat your lunch, just a place to relax for you. So definitely use your speaker room. It's there for you.
Linda, I don't mean to interrupt. We're getting some comments from the attendees that there's a little bit of background noise and that your voice is a little muffled. So I don't know if you can adjust your volume or make any edits, but wanted to share those comments coming in.
Thank you. I will try to speak up louder. Is that better?
Sounds better for me. I'm watching the comments right now.
All right. Okay, book signing. If you have a book that you've authored, we would love to have it at the Sherman bookstore for you. The Sherman bookstore opens up at 4 o'clock on Sunday and will stay open for the entire conference until the end of the conference on the Wednesday afternoon. So your book is available for all attendees to look at and purchase. For those that do have a book, we will give you the opportunity to do a book signing. Your book signing will start 15 minutes after the end of your session. And for those that will be doing book signing, we'll have a note in your speaker packet just to help you remind you what time your book signing is. The bookstore is right adjacent to the Bonnet Creek West Foyer. You'll see it if you go around the registration desk. The bookstore hits you right in the face. It's right there as you make the turn, and we'll have tables set up for you for your book signing and your signing all over for the attendees to see your book signing. So if you have not already sent your book information to us, please do so. You can send it to me at linda.willey, W-I-L-L-E-Y, at hrflorida.org, and we will make sure that the Sheriff's Store carries your book for you. Your to-do list. Please make sure if you have sent in your presentation to do so as soon as possible. Send it to Terry Green. She is our conference administration person. She keeps us all straight and on task. I know we've gotten maybe 10 to 15 at the most, so we really need you to get your presentations in. The attendees really do look forward to having those presentations available ahead of time. Make sure you bring your laptop. The rooms will not be provided with laptops, so you need to bring your laptop, and we also recommend that your PowerPoint presentation be downloaded onto a thumb drive, just in case something goes wrong with your laptop. We can switch it over maybe to another laptop so that the presentation can go forward. In the rooms, there is not internet connection, nor is there also we've had requests of having speakers in the room, and there is not any plug-in for your session. So if you have videos embedded into your presentation, what we can do is lay the handheld mic next to the speaker on your computer in order to get it across the room. So just so you know, there is no internet, there are no speaker sound systems in the room. You will have a projector, the screen, you'll have a lapel mic. If you want to have a handheld mic in the room, also please let your room monitor know and we'll make sure that you have one. We also have an app for the conference, so you can download it at any time. It's up and running now. You can see all the general events, the different sessions, the speakers, your bios will be up there, the overview of your session is loaded up there. We'll have the maps, the schedule, as well as we'll load up your PowerPoint presentation. So that is for the attendees and yourself. You can see everything that's going on. Things you need to know coming into the conference. If you have not made hotel room reservations and you need one, please do so. If you want to stay at Hilton Bonnet Creek in the Waldorf, Australia, we tend to book that out very quickly. I won't be surprised if we're filled up pretty soon. So please make sure you go ahead and make your hotel reservations. There's other hotels that you do not particularly want to stay on site, but it's a lot easier, obviously, to stay on site. The time to check in is at 3 o'clock, checking out is at 11, and again, if your session is at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, you can bring your bikes down and leave them in this room in the conference for you. So there's the information for the two hotels if you have not made your reservation.
Linda, are you on a speakerphone or are you on a regular handset or talking through the computer?
Computer.
Okay, we're still getting some background noise, so I was just trying to see if there's anything we can do mid-presentation.
I don't know where the noise is. My office is really tough right now. Do you want me to dial in on phone?
I would say go ahead and continue. As a reminder, everyone, we do have the presentation uploaded as a handout that you can access. We are available for questions afterwards. The majority of the information that Linda is sharing is on the slides. We apologize for the difficulty for some of you being able to hear her, but we'll be happy to repeat any information that's a question.
Alrighty. I'm closer to my computer, so hopefully that will make it better. So parking is $5 a day for self-parking, $26 if you do the valet. The parking, if the weather is inclement, just so you know, it's a parking garage, you're covered all the time, and there is a covered walkway that'll bring you straight over to the conference center, so you're not going to get wet or anything like that. So just, I would arrive early because we fill up the garage and have overflow. Just so you know, the dress code for the attendees is business casual. The one thing that I just want to point out to you is the rooms can be a little bit chilly. So please, if you tend to be on the cold nature side, make sure you bring a sweater or a jacket, as you could be cool in the room. Just so you know, you see a lot of manatees floating around, people taking pictures. Manny, the manatee, is our ambassador for the conference, and we're taking all sorts of pictures of them everywhere, promoting it. Just so you know, that's our mascot for the conference, and we'll see him all over the place. If you are so inclined to get up really early in the morning, Monday morning, we do have a Big Camp Fitness. You do need to register, so make sure you sign up for it. It'll go from 6 to 6:30, and it'll be a lot of fun for those early birds. Get your exercise in early. Networking, we have discussion events and cafe chats that are open at a variety of times throughout the whole conference, and we really encourage you to go in and talk and network with our attendees. And if you have a book or some extra session, it's a great place to do networking. We also invite you to visit our silent auction. Our silent auction we are promoting the Boys Ranch Club. Is that correct title, Heather?
The Florida Sheriff's Youth Ranches.
There you go. It's a great cause. So our silent auction will be help raising the money for that, as well as for the foundation. A lot of neat things there to see if you can win. For those that are staying for the full conference or staying overnight, we do have entertainment on Monday and Tuesday night. Monday night, we will have the grand opening reception in the expo hall. We will be open from 5:30 to 7. Again, it's a great place to network. And then on Tuesday night, we have our Great Gatsby event starting at 8 p.m., and that's going to be a lot of fun. So we hope you will join us. If you're going to be staying in the area, I know a lot of speakers are, it's summertime, they bring their family down, in the heart of Disneyland. So here are some websites to see what there is to do in the area. Of course, there's always something to do with all the entertainment facilities. So there's just some information in case you want to see what's around us. And that is it. Do you have any questions, Heather?
So we had a couple questions come in, but I'll go ahead and repeat the answers for the rest of the team regarding HDMI connections on the projectors. And Linda, correct me if I'm wrong, but I do believe they have HDMI connections.
Yes.
Okay, excellent. There's a question about audio inside presentations, and will that broadcast through the speakers in the room?
No. That's what I was talking about earlier when there's no stereo, no sound system in the room. So if you have a video file in your presentation that you want everybody to hear, what you can do is put a handheld mic right next to your speakers on your laptop and play it.
Okay. There's a question about the total capacity for the breakout rooms, and that does vary per room. But Linda, can you provide an average for us?
Yes, when we assign the room, we use all of the large rooms, so there should not be, we're really hoping this year that there's not any session that gets full to the point where we have to turn attendees away. The average count is around, I would say, 120 to 150 at least.
Okay, so that number was 120 to 150 on average.
Mm-hmm.
Next question coming in. If only a speaker, are we able to attend any event day or other days?
If you are, if you're speaking on Monday, then you can attend Monday's conference complimentary. Your pass will get you through everything on Monday. If you are speaking more than a day, then you get those 2 days. And if you're a master speaker, you can attend the whole conference.
Okay, so just to clarify, if you're speaking on Monday, for example, you get to stay all day Monday for all of the events. If you're a Master Series speaker, we do invite you to stay the entire time.
As well as the pre-cons are invited to stay for the whole conference.
Okay, and our pre-conference speakers will also be invited to stay. There's a question about getting a copy of the slides afterwards. Yes, we do currently have the slides available in your GoToWebinar control panel. Second from the bottom is a handout section. You can go ahead and download a copy there. We will also have a copy posted to the website with the recording of this webinar.
Also, if you have not sent in your presentation, we do have a conference template that we do ask you to use. And again, if you have do not have that, it is out on our website, the conference website, under speaker, and we can also send you one. If you email me, we can send you the template for your presentation.
Okay. We had a couple of questions about books and getting those books inside the bookstore. I've tried to respond to each of those individually, but just as a mass message, please communicate with Terry Green if you do have a book available. Her email is terry, T-E-R-R-I .green, G-R-E-E-N-E, at hrflorida.org. Okay, another question. If we have handouts for the audience, how many should we bring? Based off of the capacities of the rooms being 120 to 150, if it's a full session, that would be on the high side. A lot of people don't like having paper. They would prefer to do the downloads. So again, we encourage you to send your presentations now so that we can go ahead and get those uploaded inside the app. That way people will have the digital copy available to them. They can also print on their own before the event.
If you're really concerned about how, if something in your presentation you need to hand out, you can email myself and I can tell you what the assigned to. I can give you that number. Because we can't have any more, the attendees have to be in a chair. They cannot be sitting against the wall or sitting on the floor the fire marshal rules.
Okay. We have a question about donating to the silent auction, and I'm responding to that one now. If you would like to donate any items to the silent auction, please email me, Heather, Heather, .Derieux, DEYRIEUX, at hrflorida.org. My email address is also on the website if you're looking at the conference information, so you can find it there. I know I've got a crazy last name. We very much appreciate any of your donations. We are expecting our total attendance to be around 2,000. Next question, can we bring our own speakers for audio?
Sure, if they plug into your laptop, or we'll have outlets for you, so sure, definitely.
Yeah, or Bluetooth or any of those options, we certainly invite you to do that. Another question about the participants. We have a lot of last-minute registrations that always come in, so we are expecting those numbers to increase, but based off of our track record so far, like I said, we are expecting about 2,000 people in total. The request to email Terry our presentation, is that in addition to our proposal and bio submitted? Yes. For your presentations, please submit your full PowerPoint. It's up to you if you'd like to include your notes. Those are always very helpful from the attendee aspect, so they don't have to remember exactly what was said or just based off of the slide itself. So if there's additional information or an exercise or things that you're referencing and you're able to share those notes with us, we certainly appreciate it. Some people will send a condensed version of their PowerPoint. It is a password protected, registered attendee only area where we put this information, so it's only folks that are attending the conference that will have access to your presentation, but the more that you're able to share, the better. Let's see, we have a question about volunteering for the conference. I know we are still looking for volunteers and putting people into those slots. Jenna Dobbins, who's in charge of our volunteers, has been assigning those roles, but still has a lot to do. So if you have not heard back yet, I'm sure you'll be hearing from her soon.
One other thing that I just thought of is your rooms. There is a trick to finding the rooms quickly and easily. If you have a room that starts with the County of Florida, so it could be Escambia, Polk, Flagler, any of those names, Florida County names, you are downstairs past the speaker room. If you have the Bonnet Creek Salon 1, 2, or 3, then you are right across from the registration desk. And for the masters and those speakers that are doing the business track, the sessions that have been given business credits, you are over in the Waldorf side of the house in the grand ballroom on the main level. So there's all sorts of volunteers around. We'll all be wearing same color shirts. You'll be able to see us, and we'll get you where you need to go.
And if you're not familiar with the property, the Hilton Bonnet Creek does connect to the Waldorf, so you can get there on a couple of different levels. On the main level, like Linda just mentioned, is the easiest to go from our expo hall over to the Waldorf Grand Ballrooms for the business classes and the master series. Another question that came in is, can we do a drawing for a free book during our session or collect names to receive handouts by email? Absolutely. We certainly encourage that, and the attendees love to get free copies of books and information that they can take back to the office, so we certainly encourage that.
The one thing that we do ask is that you do not sell any products or things that you have created for sale in your presentation.
All right, one more question coming in. When do the PowerPoints need to be sent to us? The sooner the better. So we will take them as soon as they're available. Like Linda said, I think we've received 10 to 15 so far. We do ask that at least 1 week prior to the conference, we send them in. A lot of our attendees do like to review the information ahead of time or print off their own copies so that they can be prepared for your session. So please send those in as soon as they're available. Next question is, can we send PDFs rather than PowerPoints? Absolutely. PDFs are always a great option to send in. I know a lot of people have a Mac, like myself. So if you're using Keynote, it's a lot easier to send a PDF so that you know it's going to be compatible and people can read it without editing the information. So yes, PDFs are definitely acceptable. We have a question on room assignments. The rooms have been assigned. That is part of our master program guide. If you have a question about your room, you can certainly email Linda or Terry, and they'd be happy to share that information with you. Or once you get on site, we can provide that information to you then. That looks like all of the questions that have come in via the question and chat section. I do see a couple of people have their hands raised. So let me go ahead and unmute Thomas. Okay, Thomas, you've been unmuted. I see that you have your virtual hand raised. Did you have a question? Going once? Going twice? Okay. And Alicia, I see that you have your hand raised as well, but I know you've been participating in the chat. Go ahead and unmute you if you'd like to ask your question.
You answered them. Thank you very much.
Okay, you're very welcome. Okay, a few more questions have come in. Will we be using a shared computer or can we bring our own, and in parentheses, a Mac? Yes, please bring your own laptop. That way we know the connection and your presentation is ready to go. We don't have laptops in the room, so definitely please bring your own system.
Also, if you have a Mac, please make sure you bring the adapters that you need to hook up, because they usually, the hotel room has difficulty, hooking up the adapters unless you bring yours for the Mac. Hello?
Okay, no, I'm just reading through the rest of the questions coming in. Let's see, on the original schedule, it appeared we could buy a ticket to hear Dan Rather. I speak on Tuesday. I don't see that option at this point. Yes, we do have the keynote-only passes available for any of the days of the conference, with Dan Rather speaking on Monday. If you go to the attendee section of the website, you'll see all of the different registration options, one of those being the keynote passes, and you can select a Monday keynote so that you can get a ticket for that. If you don't see it on the website or have any questions, please feel free to call or email me, and I'll go ahead and type my email address in for you again. And that looks like it for those questions coming in. I'm just checking for virtual hands. I don't see any others at this point. Okay, well, if you do have any other questions, please go ahead and submit them now. Otherwise, feel free to email Linda or myself or Terry. We're also all available by phone, so whatever is easiest for you. And thank you again for submitting and speaking at the conference. It'll be a great experience for you as a professional as well as our attendees. So we really appreciate you sharing that information with us.
Yes, thank you. I've been doing the programming for several years now for the conference, and I have to tell you, this is I feel the strongest program sessions that we have ever had. So thank all very much. I'm so excited for the attendees that get to attend your sessions. We're going to be very excited.
All right, well, thank you, everyone. I hope you have a terrific Tuesday, and we will see you in just a couple of short weeks.